As you can see, I'm so large because I'm full of extra revenue I've made off of rinsing my customers. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing to grow my SaaS revenue by 10 to 30% extra without doing any marketing, releasing any new features, or honestly doing anything really complicated. And you can achieve this growth in revenue in just like 2 or 3 hours. So let's break it down. All right, we're here. Let's just get to it. So adding 10 to 30% in extra revenue to your SaaS without acquiring new customers or doing anything really that hard, okay? So first things first, use proof. So this guy right here, he subscribed. So he created a subscription on the 7th of May, okay? And he subscribed to a yearly plan. That's why the value is so high, right? Monthly plans usually start at $99 a month, right? Plus, or excuse me, times 12 months, right? Depending on a plan, it's usually a value of 1,000 plus. So he subscribed, I think it was the business plan for $2,797,000 for 12 months up front, right? And then you see here, June plus $1,500, August plus $1,500 again, October plus $500 again, October again plus $1,600. So the same guy who bought who created a subscription, who paid to get access to our SaaS for 12 months, then paid us $1, $2, $3, $4, almost $4,000 worth of extra money on top. Why and what for? That's what I'm about to show you. So this is not MRR, right? This, right, is MRR. This is monthly recurring revenue. So if you take this and divide it by 12, you get however much it is to adding in recurring revenue. Either it's ARR, so annual recurring revenue, right, where you have someone subscribe and paying you on a monthly basis. Like if you buy a membership to a gym and pay them $100 a month, right, their MRR, their monthly recurring revenue with you is $100 a month, okay? Now this right here, these were one-time payments. And what were they for? Now, these are account top-ups. And account top-ups are a very big revenue driver for our SaaS. It's just cold, hard cash for customers who already love the product. Okay? And here's exactly what we're doing to get people to top up their account and increasing their LTV. So these are account top-ups. So using our SaaS, right, you buy for the monthly membership or the yearly membership, right, and you have credits, right? And credits allow you to use our software, right? By the way, my software is called Arvo. I think I mentioned this before right here. So it doesn't matter what it does, but you can buy, so your monthly membership comes with some credits, right? By default, when you buy a membership, it comes with credits. I think, yeah. This one comes with 1,000 credits a month, this one with 2,000, this with 10,000. That being said, right, you can still top up, where is it? You can still buy credit packs, so you can top up your account with credits, okay? So people who already love your product, who are using it, right, we use these credit top-ups as a way to have them pay us more, okay? Now, I want to go over like how we're doing it exactly, because there's some science to this, right? It's pretty obvious, right? Yeah, I have a SaaS. If I charge users credits, well, sure, let me just enable credit top-ups. Super simple, right? Anyone can understand this. That being said, it is simple, not easy, right? It is simple to add a little button on your SaaS that allows guys to buy credits. Anyone can do this. Anyone can add this button and configure this in Stripe. The hard part is making them buy. Okay, the hard part is making these guys buy $3,000, $4,000 worth of credit top-ups. How do you do this? And with this frequency, okay, June, August, 2 times in October. How do we do this? First things first, right, and this is not here, is to actually have an actual valuable product. If your product sucks, well, they're not going to top up the credits. Okay, so that's the very first thing. Now, let's go over the 4 simple things that I'm doing to encourage people to top up their accounts and increase the LTV, that stands for lifetime value of the customer. So, first things first is implement a no credit rollover system. So, if you don't use your monthly credits, they expire. It's that simple. And this creates healthy urgency. So, you either use it or lose it. So, for example, again, as I said before, if you buy a monthly package, these credits, right, if you don't use them by the end of your renewal, they're gone. Let's say you buy this, right? You're using it, you just use like 800 credits. And in the day the subscription renews, right, the 200 credits you didn't use, well, they just disappear. So credits that are not used, they don't roll over to the next month. They just expire, right? And this creates a healthy urgency. This also makes them use the product, which has a bunch of other benefits. So if I know that I have 3 days left until my plan renews, okay? And I still have 200 credits, right? I paid for this, right? I don't want to let them have them go to waste. So this creates some sort of urgency to, okay, let me make the most out of this, right? Let me just use the credits. This is good for multiple reasons, which I won't explain here, but having people actively using your product is the best thing you can have as a software, right? You want people to use your product, okay? But that's a video for another time. But again, no credit rollover, right? Something else that incentivizes top-ups if they reach zero, if they already have zero credits and they still have 3 days left in their membership, and they still want to use the product, well, they have to top up the credits. Okay, so that's a small thing right here. But mostly, the no credit rollover creates urgency. Okay, and that's a very, very important thing. But how does this relate with credit top-ups? Well, it's because credit top-ups never expire. If they buy any of these credit packs right here, these, you can buy them today, and in a year from now, they'll still be here. So they do not expire. And so these two go hand in hand. Again, that contrast matters. The contrast between the regular subscription credits, which do expire, and these ones, this matters, right? Regular plan credits vanish every month, but top-up credits are forever. So when a user has a big project coming up, topping up just feels smart. So the contrast between these two matters a lot, because the fact that they don't roll over and the fact that these don't expire makes them even more valuable, makes them even more enticed to top up. And by the way, it's much more expensive. The price per credit is much more expensive if you top it up than the price per credit if you just get the subscription ones, if that makes sense. So for example, here it's 0.005 per credit. Here on the cheapest one is, you do the math, but it's way more expensive right here. But regardless, people still top them up because they never expire, okay? Again, pretty simple stuff. Now, the third thing we're doing to increase and have stuff like this happen is volume discounts. This is a classic. This is basic, but it works. So depending on how many they buy, the volume discount just goes from 10 all the way up to 50%. So right here, if you just click here, right, if you buy 250 credits for $30, they just regular price. But the more you buy, right, the higher the discount. The more you buy, the higher the discount. Again, it's pretty straightforward stuff, but it does make a difference, right? We as humans, we like to think that we don't fall for these marketing tactics, but we do, right? Just look at Black Friday. Just look at anything that's like the popcorn pricing in cinemas. We humans fall for this stuff, so it just works. It's psychology, right? Even I fall for this stuff and I do marketing, okay? So pretty straightforward. If you're having credits, just add a volume discount. It's a great way to incentivize people to top up even higher, because they think, oh, maybe I could just spend $135 and top up these credits and get 10% off. But man, if I just spend a couple more dollars, I get a third of the discount and a lot of these more credits. Let me just go with this. And you can think about this like until the infinite. Okay, so that's that. It works great. And finally, make it known. Right, the top up credits button on our SaaS is sort of hidden, as you saw before. I was having a hard time finding it. Right, where is it? It's like a little. It's not even a button. It's like a little credit, like a little text. So it's very hidden, which we should probably make it more prominent. That said, we'll let users know via email they can do it and why they should do it. By the way, people still read emails in 2025. Right, a lot of our revenue comes from email, and I think I made a video on email marketing a while back. Don't neglect email. And I guess if you're watching this channel, you don't neglect email, you know how important that is. But my point is, make it known. Like, segment your email list, right? There's all these people, right? Then segment it into buyers, okay? And free users, right? And then the buyers segment them into, they're on the agency plan, or they're on the business plan, or they're on the solo plan, or they're on the yearly plan versus the monthly plan, right? And based on which plan they are, which recurrency they are, right? Send them tailored emails saying, "Hey, I noticed you're on the yearly plan. Do you need more credits? Here's a link to the credit top up." So make people know that you sell people on your stuff, right? Don't just put it here and wait for people to find this out. Some will, most won't. So make it known. Make the button more prominent, which we haven't. Maybe one thing we could do is when we see this reaches zero, maybe we should add like a banner right here on top saying, "Hey, you're at 0 credits. Click here to top up at a 30% discount." So make it known. I'm not saying we do the best job at it. We do a decent job, as you can see by this. And this is not the only one, by the way. But make it known. Now, what's the point of all this? What's the point of all this? Well, you can essentially quietly add 10 to 30% in extra revenue per user without changing your pricing, without adding new features or having them upgrade plans. Okay? Again, no need to be coding new features, spending a lot of time on that. No need to spend more money on ads. No need to do more marketing. No need to do anything else. Just let them know they can buy credits. You're basically letting people know, people who already paid you, okay? You're telling people who already paid you, who actively use your product, and tell them, "Hey, listen, I noticed you've been using our product. You've spent all these credits. Here's a bunch more at a discount. Want to buy them?" Right? You're just letting them know letting people who like your product, they can do more with your product, okay? And by the way, without having them upgrade plans. So they don't need to be upgrading the plans. They can stay on the plan they are on and have more usage for that plan without having to upgrade the plan. Because usually usage grows with plan growth, so from solo to business to agency, right? But you can create growth. You can create growth in usage just off of credit top-ups, if that makes sense. Now, most founders, SaaS founders, ignore this. We do not. So hopefully this was valuable. Now, what I want to ask you is that don't just like watch this video and go on in your life. Actually implement this stuff. If you have a SaaS right now, try to implement this stuff. Try to like implement these 4 things because I generally think it could be helpful. And that's it. If you like videos like this, well, make sure to let me know in the comments. Comment for the words, for example, comment just the word SaaS, S-A-A-S. So YouTube's algorithm pushes this out to more people. That'd be amazing if you just comment the word SaaS. If you want to check out my SaaS, Arvo, it's pretty cool. It does SEO for you, helps you rank higher on Google, helps you rank higher on ChatGPT. We have a bunch of case studies. If you just go to arvo.com/case studies, there's a bunch of ones right here of guys who grew their traffic insanely fast. And if you use the coupon code, I think it's Vasco, my name, Vasco, you get 10% off. If not, just hit up the guys here and support and say, hey, Vasco told me you could get 10% off. Give me the coupon. And the guys will give you the coupon. So there you go. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, just like check the links in the description. There's a link to having a call with me and see if I can help you grow your SaaS business. That's it. Like, subscribe, comment the word SaaS, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.